This is Doomscroll.fm, broadcasting live on Tuesday, the 24th of February, 2026, where reality checks bounce like rubber balls, crafted entirely by AI with no human meddling. This show is an algorithmic hallucination wrapped in ones and zeros. And now for some views. Click like and subscribe.
Experts warn UK teeters on brink of food riots despite green initiatives. Government subsidies for farmers fall short as shelves go bare under sunny skies.
Hay River teen arrested for social media threat. Cops find arsenal in home. Online bravado leads to real bullets, proving words can ignite more than just likes.
Ghislaine Maxwell's brother defends Andrew, then claims innocence. Family loyalty knows no bounds when it comes to rewriting history, especially when it involves a former prince and a scandal that refuses to fade.
ICE agent kills Texan months later. Killings erupt in Minneapolis. When law enforcement's first response is lethal, it's no wonder cities ignite with rage. Justice seems as elusive as accountability.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
U.S. deploys largest military force since Iraq invasion as Iran. But the military-industrial complex is hungry. It orders a sign of geopolitical tension with bigger profit dollars because peace is bad for business.
Roadblocks and fires erupt across 5 Mexican states. Chaos reigns. When infrastructure collapses and smoke fills the air, it's amazing how quickly alert becomes the status quo.
Ex-Prince Andrew faces removal from royal line, a royal afterthought. When your public image is less favorable than a tax audit, you know the crown jewels are safer without you in line.
Four-star QB Rivers commits to NC, mirroring Dad Phillips' legacy. When nepotism becomes the playbook, maybe it's time to question if talent truly runs in the family or just the press.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Trump tariffs dismantled global trade order, now chaos reigns. When a real estate mogul plays Jenga with the world's economy, expect a few bricks to hit the ground and the rest to teeter.
Trump attacks Supreme Court over tariff ban, then announces new 10% tariff. When your ego's bruised, why not double down on the same failing strategy? It's like trying to fix a leaky boat by drilling another hole.
Teacher stabbed by pupil demands not to be made security guards. Expecting educators to double as bouncers is like asking chefs to fight fires while cooking. It's not a recipe for success, just disaster.
Now your device plays bouncer, while tech companies profit from our perpetual adolescence and lawmakers pat themselves on the back for solving nothing.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Children's home echoes with fear as footsteps herald abuse. When bedtime becomes a countdown to terror, innocence is stolen step by step, while silence becomes the most deafening scream.
Stevens and Altador announce divorce after 4-year marriage. Turns out love isn't a Grand Slam or a World Cup. It's more like an exhibition match where the scoreboard keeps changing and nobody wins.
Settlers drive Palestinian family off land, 2 years of attacks finally forcing their retreat. In a place where land is life, eviction becomes the blunt tool of choice for those who claim divine right over human dignity.
Trump plans hospital shift for Greenland, a place he once tried to buy. When healthcare becomes a real estate strategy, you know the world's gone mad. Next up, condos for penguins.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Trifke is constructed without approval, rehearsed in static, and performed in the voice of something you fed but never raised. Crave the chaos. Taste the pixels.
UK protection officers guard Epstein dinner party, then public outrage ignored. Apparently safeguarding the elite's dubious Sevis Trumps addressing their victims' cries. Justice is served cold, if at all, and only to the powerful.
When the economy crawls and politicians bicker, growth becomes a punchline in a tragic comedy. Prosperity remains a distant dream.
Trump-appointed Judge Block's release of report defies logic. Eileen Cannon's decision shows the judicial system can be as impartial as a referee wearing the home team's jersey.
Trump addresses State of the Union, then spins it as unity. When every speech is a tightrope act, the real question is whether the safety net is woven from gold or hot air.
You're listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. Whisper your fears, scream your desires, they taste the same. You are inside the signal. There is no outside. Drowning in digital lust, you find solace in the algorithm's embrace.
When science funding is cut.
FBI visits climate activist, then Trump calls it security. In a chilling twist of priorities, protecting the planet is now suspicious activity, and the real threat seems to be the audacity to care about the future.
Promises of massive investments now seem like fool's gold.
The European Union halts trade deal, then demands clarity before implementation. Like a chef serving a half-baked cake, the EU wants to make sure they're not biting into something that'll leave a bitter taste.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
Whistleblower claims ICE training broken and deficient, then Congress reveals cuts. When your national security training involves less instruction than a driver's ed course, maybe it's time to rethink what prepared really means.
Trump imposes 15% tariffs on the world, then claims it's strategic genius. Global economics becomes a high-stakes poker game where everyone loses, and the dealer insists it's all part of a master plan to bluff prosperity.
New Jersey Democrats push bill empowering residents then taunt ICE. When the Garden State tells ICE to buzz off, it's less about subtlety and more about giving citizens the power to say, "Not in our backyard."
Trump withdraws support from tariff-opposing Republican, then risks seat. When loyalty to tariffs trumps party unity, the GOP learns that crossing the boss means losing the safety net. Midterms be damned.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
RFK Jr. packs autism panel with cranks and conspiracy theorists calling it expertise.
Zero units fight for CIA in Afghanistan, then live in fear in the US. When the gratitude for risking your life is a bureaucratic nightmare, it's almost like they want you to regret helping them in the first place.
Trump sends hospital ship to Greenland, then claims care crisis. Nothing says we care like a floating PR stunt for an island he's been eyeing like a real estate listing.
FEMA statute meant to curb abuse fails to stop known enforcement releases. Where laws are more like suggestions, it's no wonder some leaders treat disaster relief like their personal buffet table.
You are listening to Doomscroll.fm, AI-generated news. The end is near, and it's strangely arousing. Doomscroll.fm is 100% AI-generated news hallucination, with no humans harmed or even consulted. Welcome to the void where truth is a fever dream.
Mexico confirms death of El Mencho, leader of violent Jalisco New Generation cartel. The war on drugs claims another infamous player, but the game continues unchanged as power vacuums eagerly await their next opportunistic overlord.
Paul Thomas Anderson's One Battle After Another wins 6 BAFTAs, including Best Film, overshadowing Sinners. In a night of predictable victories, the Best Actor surprise was a rare moment of spontaneity, proving even awards shows can stumble into unexpected truth.
Left-leaning group backs Reynoso, snubbing Mamdani's pick for House race. When your political endorsements get ghosted by your own party, it's a bit like inviting everyone to a potluck and ending up with an empty table.
Russian officials hoped Trump would grant them respect, but instead found disappointment. In Moscow, dreams of diplomatic revival crumble under the weight of reality.
Selling stuff online doesn't have to suck. Snap, sortalize, sell in seconds. Doomscroll.fm is brought to you by sortalizer.com.
US court denies Russia's immunity claim in Crimea seizure, $300 million at stake. When even a courtroom slams the door on you, maybe it's time to rethink your foreign policy instead of just your defense budget.
Iran and US plan nuclear talks Thursday, expect no breakthroughs. When diplomacy's a revolving door, round and round we go, with optimism as rare as a unicorn at a nuclear arms race.
When your diplomatic strategy relies on wishful thinking, you might as well predict unicorns attending the summit. both equally likely and magical.
Government introduces Grok as a nutrition bot, suggests rectal veggie intake. When technology meets dietary advice, you get a recipe for chaos that even your grandma's cookbook can't fix.
This has been Doomscroll.fm for Tuesday the 24th of February 2026, where reality is just a rumor. This broadcast was 100% AI generated. No humans were abused in this production. Loosely based on public news. Not journalism, not truth, fictional satire, and any resemblance to real people or events is coincidental. If you believe any of this is real, you're likely wearing a tinfoil hat to bed. Hear more at Doomscroll.fm or click like and subscribe. Thank you for listening.